Hey guys, welcome back to Minute Watch, and today we're checking out a Ball Marvelite. And I've been wanting to see one of these for a long time, and finally got my hands on one, and I really dig it. That's why I'm using these special gloves, because I don't want my fingerprints to get on it, and I want you guys to see how it looks in all of its shining glory, because it really is a fingerprint monster. This thing is a hyper fingerprint monster. Ball is a company that was founded in 1891 by a gentleman named Webb C. Ball, and he was literally instrumental in helping to establish the the standards of time here in the United States. After a real big incident involving trains that went head-on into each other and killed a bunch of people. So that's why Ball watches are very heavily into the whole railroad time, and as you can see, that the railroad theme is in their logo, and a very important historical company in the watch world, in the United States anyway. If you want to see, if you want to read more about it, I'll post the Ball watches history page as well as a Wikipedia link, and it's an interesting read. I highly recommend it. You'll learn some stuff. But this is the Ball Marvelite, and it has a very small model number of NM2026C-S6J-BE. Again, that's NM2026C-S6J-BE. So just a small number, and but everybody knows this is a Marvelite, but they do need to have model numbers because this is the blue dial version. There are other versions. There's a black dial. There's a kind of a silvery champagne-y dial, but this is probably one of the nicest ones. This Ball uses the Ball RR1103 automatic mechanical movement, which is an ETA 2824-2. Now I'm not sure if it's modified or not, but it's got a Swiss movement. It's a really good movement, and it beats at well, I don't really know. It's 28,800 beats per hour, and it is windable, hackable, and it has a screw-down crown. It's signed, as you can see right here. Focus, monster, focus. And there you go. It's got the railroad signed crown, and because it's screwed down, it does offer a 100-meter water resistance, and the accuracy and power reserve is pretty typical of a 2824-2 movement, so I'm not going to get into that too much because there's a lot more to talk about. I'll post that info. I'll post that info in the about section because I'm lazy and I didn't write it down. Let's see. It has a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating and a very good. You see the date bubble? Very good magnifying date bubble. Look at how big it is normally. So it's a really good magnifier, and it features 14 microtech H3 Tritium vials in blue and green. I'll get to that later, which is mostly what people buy Ball watches for. Ball doesn't make any other watches, any other type of watches except ones with tritium illumination. This particular watch is anti-magnetic to 4,800 ampere per meter and is shock resistant to 5,000 Gs. So this is not your average everyday cheapy watch. This is a beautiful tool watch. This is a hyper tool watch. This is a very beautiful, very functional, very robust, beautiful tool watch, and it's got a really gorgeous dial. You can see that it has solid links with polished edges. Come on, focus, and it also uses solid end links. I don't know if you can see that, solid end links. The case back is a little railroad thing there. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, let me just, oh, it uses a deployant style bracelet, which at first I thought was rubbish, but it actually works really good once I got used to it. And there's the case back, the Ball watch company. And the plastic covering is still on there. I'm not going to take it off, but yeah, there it is. It's pretty nice. It's good. It's because it's an anti-magnetic watch. It's kind of on the thicker side. And let's get to the measurements. Pew! So what I got for the case was 40 millimeters, well, about 40 millimeters. 12.5 inches thick. Actually, it's a little bit more than that because of the date bubble, but it's a little over 13 millimeters with the date bubble. Lug to lug about 46.5 millimeters, and lug width is 20 millimeters. So it's on paper it's a good size, but it does wear a little bit big because of the bracelet. It's how this middle section kind of protrudes out. It does make the watch feel a little bit bigger, so those of you with larger wrists, don't worry, it will wear very nicely. For those of you with smaller wrists like mine, like tiny microscopic dude, are you serious wrists, the bracelet does make the watch a little bit more bulky than I'd like. So even though this bracelet is very, very beautiful, I would probably opt to put it on a strap, a leather strap, and I think that would set this watch off very nicely. Also, I wouldn't want to scratch this bracelet up, so I would, I would take it off and keep it really nice and frozen in carbonite, and store it away in a different time and different dimension. So let's see. Let's get to the let's put it on my wrist, and I'll show you what I mean here by it being a little bit bulky. There's nothing wrong with that. I would rock it with the bracelet, but I would prefer to not scratch this bracelet up. So that's why. So here we go on my wrist. It does look more bulky because of that bracelet. Usually 40 millimeter watches don't look as bulky, but it's also due to its thickness regarding the anti-magnetic prowess of this watch. So even though it's a 40, it's kind of a bigger feeling of a watch. So let's just take this thing off, and let's go check out the let's not get the watch off. Let's fail. Let's continue to fail. Let's just oh my god. Okay, let's just do that here. I am going to turn off light number 1, and I'm going to turn off well, actually I'm going to adjust the ISO setting to better reflect what I'm seeing. So that's about right. I'm at ISO 3200, the grainiest one. I actually can go up to a lot higher than that, but let's just turn off the lights here. And there you go. Look at that. Yeah? Come on. Can you focus on the things with the stuff? You know what? I'm going to turn on the light. And there you go. Ah, there you go. Hey, that worked. So it's got a nice blue series of indices. It's very nice. And it's quite bright, actually. One of the more brighter T100s. I think it's T100. One of the more brighter tritium watches I've seen. I did a video a couple of videos ago with forgot what watch it was, but it was just not at all as bright. But for a comparison, here's an Orient Blu-ray that I've hit with light about maybe 10 minutes ago, and this Blu-ray will just be illuminated for a while. I mean, the Blu-ray is basically, let me turn on the light here. The Blu-ray is average. It has average lume. It's not very spectacular, but let me just use my trusty oh, you know what's interesting? I'll show you later. Let me just blast it with ultraviolet light there for a second here, and then turn off the light. And then clearly you can see that standard lume is, of course, ridiculously brighter than any tritium. That doesn't mean that it's bad, but I just want you to see the difference between what a tritium watch looks like versus average Lume when it's fully lit up. The tritium watch on the right the Ball Marvelite will continue to shine like this for a decade or more, while this Orient Blu-ray will start to degrade through time and eventually will have very crappy Lume. But I still like the Blu-ray. Pound for pound, it's a good watch. What else can I talk about this beautiful, gorgeous... Oh, this watch is about $1,900, so that's why I'm trying to be extra careful with it. It is very expensive. Well, it's not very expensive. It's actually, for what you're getting, kind of a badass price. Kind of a really good price. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get a watch that looks nicer for cheaper, but to get the anti-shock rating and the anti-magnetic rating like this, plus a really good movement, and the tritium, and this beautiful, beautiful bracelet, and all the little details here and there, you're just not gonna get it. Sizing is easy because these are screw-down pins, nothing to worry about. They're very easy. And oh no, this is just a beautiful, excellent watch. If you don't mind the slight bulkiness of it, and you have an average size or bigger wrist, this will be great. This is an amazing piece. Oh, you know what? Let me just I gotta go back to ISO 125 and turn on the other light of justice, and then turn on the other light of justice right here, because that's what So this is a super long review, and I think it's worth it because you guys needed to see every little angle of this watch. And I don't think I'm gonna make one of those revolvey crappy beauty shots at the end, because I don't really want to rest this watch on the actually, you know what, I'm gonna rest it on like a piece of felt or something, then spin it around and round and round and round so you can see it. But yeah, that's the review of this Ball Marvelite. Thanks for watching.